Now to Kenya, where it's a win for salaried workers, as High Court declared the housing levy proposed by the government as unconstitutional. However, the High Court has suspended the judgment until January the 10th. This next year. The housing levy is among the tax measures that was introduced in the 2023 Finance Act amid the high cost of living crisis. Mercy Milanoy, business reporter from Kenya, joins us from Nairobi with details and developments on this story. Good afternoon, Mercy. It's good to have you on the show. Mercy, what is the housing levy and why was it deemed unconstitutional by the High Court?
Well, thank you for having me today. Well, the housing levy, as you clearly stated, it is under the Finance Act of 2023 that was introduced to help us achieve the goal of affordable homes. Now, affordable housing, as it's commonly known, began with the previous government, which had an ambitious Big Five agenda, and one of them was affordable housing. Now, to achieve this, there had to be a way of financing this particular project. So now, the Finance Act, now that is known of 2023, was revised, taken to Parliament, and it was passed. So under this act, we find that both employees and employers must pay a monthly affordable housing levy of 1.5% to employers' gross salary. So every employed person in Kenya has been contributing to the affordable housing levy. Now, the funds ideally are collected and that to be used for development of affordable housing. Of course, they need social and physical infrastructure, as well as be able to finance affordable home for Kenyans. Now, it was deemed unconstitutional because there has been a lot of debate with the housing levy because now there's only one factor of the entire population that is contributing to this levy. So the question has been, why only the employed? And of course, when this went to court, the judges, Judge David Majanja said that for now it was deemed discriminatory and unfair because it was only applied to those with formal jobs. And we have a whole population that has informal jobs. So you can't have that only those with formal jobs are the ones who are contributing to the housing levy and to the affordable housing that will benefit each and everyone, including those in informal jobs. And just to give the context of where this came from, we find that there is an annual deficit. There's an annual demand for affordable homes at about 250,000 units. What is being able to be met is only 50,000. So we have about 2 million units deficit of affordable homes here in Kenya. And the whole goal of affordable homes was to ensure that every Kenyan has somewhere affordable to live. But you find that now with the housing levy, it has been very heavy on only the employed or only the people who are employed, and thus the courts now move to declare it unconstitutional. But of course, Kenyans can't celebrate just yet because now the Kenya Revenue Authority, the leader of majority in Parliament, went to court, and of course they've pleaded for a 45 days stay. So this will give the government time to move to the Court of Appeal and of course put things in order and to address on the issues that the High Court brought about that led them to declare it unconstitutional.
Okay, so they declared it unconstitutional, but it's been suspended, and then Kenyans will have to continue paying this levy for another month. Why is that?
Well, now, after the court said it was unconstitutional, the government lawyer, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Attorney General, and the Kenya Revenue Authority also moved to court to plead their case. So basically, the court gave them 45 days. So the suspension has been lifted for only 1 month until January 10th. After that, it's either the government comes up with a way to, either the government finds a way to address the issues, of course, that were brought forth by the court, which is find a way to put more people to contribute to the housing levy, because as of now, it's only contributed to only the employed and those people with formal jobs. So, and and this project is supposed to benefit each and every Kenyan. So it deemed unfair that only the employed people are contributing to a project that will benefit the entire population, including those unemployed. So what happens to those who have informal jobs and they're making money? They're not contributing to the housing levy, and there is no formal way that the Kenya Revenue Authority or the government itself have found a way to make them accountable of contributing to the housing levy. So the other thing is that the Federation of Kenyan Employers has been loudly and very aggressive in terms of, stating the effects of the continued taxes under the Finance Act, including the housing levy, that has had a negative impact on the employment industry. You find that very many employers are grappling with meeting all these tax demands. So it's either we're going to see layoffs or we're going to see a freeze in employment. So with this now, for this particular 1 month, the government needs to find a way to either increase the bracket of those contributing to the housing levy outside those who are employed, or now the court will now deem it unconstitutional permanently. But as of now, the key parties in government, that is the Kenya Revenue Authority, the Attorney General, and the National Assembly, the Speaker, went to plead with the court to be given some time to be able to give the government some time to put things in order, and then now we will have the final judgment on January 10th.
Okay, but has there been any public reaction following this judgment between yesterday and today? What has been the public reaction to this?
Well, we celebrated for a few hours before it was suspended again. Kenyans are really glad that, it was suspended because as of now, 2023 has been quite the tough year for Kenyans in terms of economy. The economy is not doing well. The taxes are quite heavy. There are a lot of measures that have been passed by Parliament that have really hurt the pockets of Kenyans. And since the enactment of the Finance Act of 2023, it's been taxes and taxes and taxes. And you find that, like right now, our oil levy was doubled. There's the high cost of power. Right now, Kenyans are functioning on a really high cost of living. So definitely, the suspension of the housing levy came at a really good time, and Kenyans were happy. And for now, we're just hoping that the court will be able to put the government to accountable, that if by January 10th, if they're not been able to see how they can be able to increase the bracket of those contributing to the housing levy, then they suspend it, because it is unfair to really put only the employed people, those who in formal employment, with the burden of contributing to the housing levy alone.
So, but what other taxes are affecting Kenyans currently, being levied on them?
So all these taxes are all under the Finance Act of 2023. And on top of that, you find that the Kenyan Parliament also passed the doubling of the double taxation of oil. So you find that it went from 8%, the VAT from 8% to 16%. And we've been functioning on high cost of fuel. It is actually even the highest right now in a really long time. You find also the Kenyan shilling has not been doing well. It has been aggravated by the situation. Of course, businesses that highly depend on imports and exports have been really affected. You find the high cost of power. The cost of power is really high, because you find that if the cost of fuel is high, then definitely it translates to the cost of power. And basically, the tax measures overall have led to the economy struggling a bit. And recently, the Federation of Kenyan Employers released a report where they stated that 3% of Kenyans have lost their jobs in the formal private sector. We find that over 70,000 people have lost their jobs, and this is just in one span of 1 year alone. And so the continuous enactment of these taxes under the Finance Act continue to hurt the economy, but also Kenyans are just a bit hopeful things will get better. But Kenyans are just hoping that the government plus
we need to stay hopeful. Back to the drawing board. We need to stay hopeful, Mercy. Definitely, we'll hope that these conditions or situations get better. Thank you so much, Mercy Milanoy, business reporter from Nairobi, Kenya, for sharing those insights and keeping us up to date.